She hangs brightly from the tree, wonders what she's done to me. I'm aware of your game. Come and watch me. Watch me come down. Takes me down deep and wide, pulls me through to the other side. She's the winner of her game. Come and watch her. Watch her come down. It stays down. Sour in truth, lies of leaven. The story's cheap. She's the winner of her game. Come and watch her. Watch her come down. Deep and wide. Inside, inside, inside. That is the lyrics to a song called She Hangs Brightly, which is off of an album by the same title by Mazzy Star. And that came in really strongly for you, Libra. There's a message there. I got this message that you have successfully navigated some pretty tricky territory that was part of an initiatory process for you. 122 on the clock. Now you're ready to come into alignment with a path that is going to be merging with yours into one timeline. You've been straddling that divide for a while, but it's now time when the road ahead will appear with the Aries new moon that comes in on the 29th. Perfect timing for this path to align then. There could be an Aries factoring into your situation. Now, I got a lot of information that came through with this. I do have a big download for you, but before I get into that, I do want to say this is a bonus read for the Libra Collective for being one of the highest viewing signs on the channel to open up the year. Actually, you were the highest viewing sign, so thank you so much, Libra. I appreciate your support. Certainly, the collective as a whole can benefit from these messages as well, even if you don't have any strong Libra placements or you're not an Aries rising, which would make you a Libra descendant, because we did move out of the energy in the opening of the year of the South Node, and we passed the baton to Virgo, and we just had a Virgo full moon. So with all of the retrograde energy, we're currently in Mercury retrograde. We also got Venus retrograde going on through Aries and Pisces. I feel like this is really a very significant point for the collective as a whole. And collective, you can benefit from this message. So Libra sharing the love a little bit, passing that love around a little bit and saying you get to benefit from this too, okay? You get to benefit from this too. There is something you successfully navigated here that for a while was keeping you held up. You had to use your instincts with Papa Macho here. You may have effectively taken a bull by the horns, a bull that was running loose in the china shop. I feel like you got some strength here. You got some might. You're armed with your truth. You have been wounded here, but I don't see a sense of martyrdom. I more see that for a while you weren't sure which direction you were going. But there's something you're going to be resolving here. It does take instinct. It does require you to transform as well. Snake comes in associated with the direction south on the medicine wheel. So there is an old skin you're shedding here. There is an old skin you're shedding here. You're letting the scales fall from your eyes. You're seeing things as they are. There's something you've already identified here. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it's a duck. All right? It's a duck. And there's no posturing that can make you feel otherwise. Someone's a quack. Someone's a quack. Someone you're dealing with claims to be an expert, but they're a quack. Okay, so be aware of this. Be aware of who you're taking in your counsel from. Be aware of anybody who thinks that they have some expertise when it comes to your life, your choices. I do feel like you're moving into quite a different mode of transportation moving forward here. It's really interesting. In the pre-shuffle with your tarot cards, I got the Five of Cups as baseline energy. And I saw the Five of Cups, the traditional Rider-Waite interpretation, very different than I ever have before, because in that particular card, there's 3 cups spilled. There's 2 cups that are on the other side of that disappointing experience. If only the person would turn and look in the correct direction. And there's the water that's spilled from the 3 cups, but then in the distance, there is a waterway, and there's 2 entry points, and that waterway made me think of the way forward for you, Libra, that something was spilled, something was lost, but it wasn't your waterway. It's not what carries you forward. It's not what makes the 2 timelines merge that are meant to come together at this point. You will discover that. I do feel like you're just about to change your orientation. There might have been something that you were integrating. There might have been something that you were sorting out, something you needed to balance out. You digested it enough. Because after I got She Hangs Brightly, it was really interesting as I was preparing the tarot deck for you. The next thing that came out was the Hanged Man. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. She hangs brightly. And you notice with the hangman in the traditional Rider-Waite version, the crown is lit up, okay? But I was also preparing this deck, the Arcane BS deck, and I got the card that came out where it's hang in there, right? And somebody's being held to the fire, their head's in the fire, but it came in reverse as I was doing your pre-shuffle. So that made me feel like, okay, you're not going to be held up. Like you've sort of served your time at the crossroads. You've integrated a particular lesson. You're ready to enter the waterway. You're recognizing that something that was spilled was not the way forward. There's nothing lost there. There is actually everything that is to be gained. You'll see that soon. With that hanged man energy, I do feel like something that was intended to hold you up actually lifts you up. I then got Crown of Fire came in. And with Crown of Fire, there were a lot of other messages, but look what's on the split here, you see? With the new moon that comes in, it is a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. There is a new beginning that is protected for you there. It frees you from some karmic loop that was founded on something false, something deceptive, but you've retrieved some kind of magic, some kind of empowerment that is bringing a very lasting manifestation to root in your life. It's also giving you freedom from some authority figure here. Again, remember what I was saying? Look, we got the greased priest. Be aware of who you sort of like look up to, who you feel has some kind of way to guide you forward. There's something faulty in that, or there could be a character like that involved in your situation who is acting as some kind of spiritual advisor to another, pointing the way, some kind of self-professed teacher who actually was working in such a way that they were thinking of what could serve them rather than what really could serve you, or could serve one that they were assisting in relation to you. This is how it's coming through. You've also seen that something's fallen flat in terms of a particular path. It's like you're starting to see cracks in a facade. And it could be somebody that you held in high esteem, somebody that you had a lot of respect for. Maybe you viewed them as some kind of spiritual guide. This could be some kind of fall from grace. This could be somebody who is like a self-professed spiritual guide. They put a lot of value in this, and yet there's something that is starting to wear away in the veneer. The true identity of the person is being seen. I do have a sense that somebody is going to be caught up. Somebody wins their own game. I feel like there's been like manipulation here done under the guise of being a very spiritual person or being a very helpful person. And you recognize something here, you saw through the deception, you cut through it. You might have digested this for a long time. Somebody in your life may have fallen from grace. Snake imagery also associated with the sign of Scorpio. There could be a Scorpio connected to your situation here. Crown of fire. So it makes me feel like something's come to light for you. Something will come to light for you. And then I heard raining fire, because I had this vision of like the fire, the inner fire within, the transformational fire rising up through the chakra system, coming out the crown, and then sort of like raining down this energy. But I wondered, I was like, is there actually some kind of elemental phenomenon associated with raining fire? I mean, certainly we've heard stories in biblical tales, but then I wanted to dive a little deeper with it. So I did some research, and there is a phenomenon, 11:11 on the clock, called raining fire. And it's the result of sort of an optical illusion caused by pyrocumulus clouds. And that's the result of different factors coming together during a wildfire that creates this sort of impression of fire raining down, but it's not literal. And I feel like there's a little bit of this operating in your situation as well. Something is spreading like wildfire around you, but it's an optical illusion. And there's something here about you taking that fire back in your hands and using it, using what somebody tried to generate, okay, to hang you up, keep you caught up, to actually get yourself out of a knotty sort of situation. It makes me think of the Gordian knot, that download that came in a while ago. And Alexander the Great cut through the knot, and that was considered cheating. But what if you burn through the knot, Libra? What if your transformational fire that you're generating here burns through the knot, because you're sort of cleansing the consciousness of something that infiltrated it that didn't belong there? I do feel like there's a lot of talk around you. There's this sense of like people got their eyes on you. There is a game that's being played here, but you're not playing it. You're being lifted up by whatever was designed to bring you down with this. It's really an interesting energy. And then with the raining fire, there was another piece that came in as I was doing research. I didn't even know there was a song called Raining Fire, and I just took a lyric from it that seemed to really speak to your situation. That song is on Bandcamp. It's by Emily Lewis. And the lyric is, "It's raining fire on the land. Believe and listen, for the dream will come our way. Be still and listen. Through the dream, we'll make our way through." And I believe that's speaking of that waterway. Yes, see, there's some new beginning that wants to come in here. See, you're getting like that crown of fire, and it's burning through some kind of optical illusion. And in some way, it's freeing you from a hungry energy that's been holding you back. It may have felt like something that's been hot on your tail, okay? And I feel like you got just enough levity above this that you're out of its reach. It does want to prevent some kind of activation of this for you, because it cuts off a beginning this energy wants for itself. All right? That's what I got here in relation to this. I do feel like whoever is behind this, they're about to get caught in the act. There is going to be something that exposes this facade, and it really identifies who's been sort of stirring the pot here. And that's when there's this moment where, you know, they win their game. It's like you won your game, but, you know, there's also always like a penalty box in a game as well. And it's like, it worked for a while. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted, notoriety coming through. Maybe this person wanted like a certain kind of notoriety. Well, you got it, you know. Can you sit in the hot seat? Somebody's about to discover, they're about to go real deep down into the bottom of this. It's like a moment where the wheel turns again and the transformation takes root in your life. And that's when the timelines come together. That's when the timelines come together. There's a lot of messages that are coming in through your dreams where you have felt eyes on you, or where you have felt like there's been a little sort of weaselly, like trying to suss out energy around you. These people are going to start to be identified to you in your dreams if they haven't already been shown to you. I feel like many of you have already seen their faces in your dreams. They've been coming up in your dreams. You'll notice that as they come up in your dreams, people that are connected to these others will also in your waking life start to come near you, 16, 11 on the clock. That's because there's this sense of an impending tower. They know that time's up, and so they want to try to come into alignment with you here. But you will become aware of who the spies are, okay, who's got their eyes on you and your situation. You'll also come to grok their means, and you will gain the ability to cut off their potency. It'll put you in a position where you got like the power back in your hands, and you need to use this very wisely. All right. You need to use this very wisely. It's like you're being raised up by an energy or circumstance that once wanted to hold you down. The energy that came in after the hangman in your pre-shuffle was the Knight of Cups. So then I heard the approach. And I feel it's the approach of another's timeline that's meant to merge with you. It's a way through for two of you. But I also got a very distinct message that your time of being tied to the fate of three others has come to an end. The bindings have been burned through. That's how it's coming through. You may wonder, what is this all about? Some of you may not really be sure. Some of you are very aware of what the motivation is, but some of you don't understand what is all this, ruckus about. It's because you hold something that others want. And they believe that you have a vulnerability around this. But the reality is it's already come to your intention that there's something that they're after. You've been considering this, okay? You may be sort of letting others believe that you don't know what's going on. You may be letting them believe that you're in a vulnerable position. So they can't really penetrate your true intentions. There is sort of like that message of protect your head. Yeah, just as I said, protect your head, it flew up in the deck. Isn't that wild? And so, see, there's an energy here, future grandma. Future grandma. And there's a cat right by this future grandma. Interesting. So this could be like a cat lady, This could be a cat lady who's had their eyes on you, that's keeping a little bit of a secret. I feel like this is a single person, okay? They spend a lot of time on their own. They take a lot of space from other people. They might own a cat. They have some secrets here. There's like this connection here, former child star. So this is somebody who's been trying to rain down some fire here, maybe start a wildfire, trying to cause some problems, some issues for you. We got death. Like they've really been at this. They've been relentless with this. They've been really like trying to bring some endings in your life repeatedly, like on a repeat loop. I'm seeing the sickle through the eye. It's like an eye for an eye, like in a way they may feel like it's justified on their end, but we see that it makes their own eye blind. There's something they don't see here. There's something they don't see here. This could be with the former child star. This may be somebody who feels like in some way you might be stealing their thunder, you might be stealing their shine, you're getting some attention that they want to have, and they have an issue with this, okay? But you got knowledge. You got knowledge about this, and see the snake medicine's activated and you already got your wings. So you're getting to the arrival of the rainbow on the other side of the storm. You're heading into your true north here. It's like, no, Spirit's kind of looking through. No, it says right here, if you know in the Akashic records that this is the time when this transformation takes place, and they're to activate their true north here. This cycle is coming to an end. This energy that's trying to set things on fire as you're trying to sort of light your way forward. You're going to escape this energy, all right? But it's because you're catching something in the act. Something's going to happen that really catches this energy in the act, and it just outs it. It's like the facade falls away. I also feel like there is a need for you to pay attention at night, like right before you go to sleep. I think it's very important at that time to just notice any shifts in the energy in your environment, any shifts in what you're feeling within yourself. I also feel there's something coming in here around perhaps really setting up intentional space around your dream time. Because I do feel like there has been vulnerability there in the sense of some people you kind of allowed entry because what they don't recognize is like, well, I spy you too. It's like, I see you crossing boundaries. I see you here. So you may have been, in a sense, sort of sussing out some of these energies like, you can draw them in more with honey than you can with vinegar. You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like, okay, you're after what I hold here. You're after this sweetness. You're after something I got that you want. Okay. You know what I mean? I do feel that energy around you. It's like there's a little bit of underestimation here that you've used to your advantage, I feel, in this situation. I'm going to do a cut of the deck. But the big message coming through for you is the wait is over. Something's really going to get moving with that new moon in Aries that comes in on the 29th. That's when your timelines merge. And you'll see signs of it like immediately. It really will be lit up for you. Okay. Let's do a cut of the deck, see what we got. And then I'll do one round of the gold foil tarot for you. Yeah, see, you hold a certain power in your hands at this time, something you've reclaimed, something you've gotten back. And that's why you're not like caught up anymore in this situation. And there is this, aspect here. I'm almost seeing this as like, it's giving me vibes like a sigil, like a warding sigil that's almost like a psychological knot in itself. It's like a labyrinth that doesn't allow, these outside energies to get access to that inner sanctum. Because while you may have needed to suss out sort of like the lay of the land in that regard, your dream time really needs to be warded at this time. I feel that. Because there's a lot of specific information that's going to be coming into you that will act as a guidepost for the road ahead. And I do feel like this road has a lot of twists and turns. And there's something very special waiting in the center for you. But you don't want this trailing energy because it's really hungry to cut off this crowning moment. Okay. Really important here, this energy and the way it's coming in. May's face. And again, you could have been dealing as well with somebody that You know, it's been a little bit of a mystery to you too. You're not really sure what their intentions are. I feel like where there have been cloaked intentions, they're going to be made clear. And you may be sort of cloaking your intentions at this time too, while you wait for clarity about another's intentions. I do feel when that great revealing happens, it happens in perfect timing. And you share your intentions with another who's meant to share that timeline with you. It's the waterway opening up for two that are being freed from three. And then on the other side there, we got this big emperor energy with rhubarb Tony. And also what comes in there is the Venusian energy as well. So there is like, this is a real old score that's being settled here. And it's almost like this pterodactyl's wings almost look like an opening book again. You know, it's like this real mirrored energy, tale as old as time. This is like the never ending story. But this is where the getting gets good. You know what I'm saying? There's a real transformational moment here. And it's really speaking about being rooted in your power. When we look at rhubarb here, rhubarb is connected to Venus. So it's really returning to the essence of your ruling planet, your Venusian energy. So do expect like an increase in all things Venusian. Well, that's love and that's romance and that's beauty and all of that sort of like decadent, luxurious, pampering kind of quality. But don't forget that it's also war, love and war. It's in tandem when we're looking at that energy of Venus. But I do feel like you are already sort of like seated in a certain position, like you've earned your spot. And it's almost like there's challengers to, you could see it as a throne, okay? There's challengers to the throne, but you've already earned your spot. And so, you know, this queen of holes who's trying to slide through that doorway just in the nick of time, you notice, look at the cross on the top here. See, this is somebody who is full of it. Like their stories, what they've said about you, what they've been telling people about you, some narrative they've been running here. It's full of holes. And remember, look, this energy is going to get them caught up. It's sort of like they've made their own eyes blind, like their own vision has been lost here by trying to slip through a door that's marked for you, right? Interesting energy coming out here for sure, right? And yeah, this could be a situation where, you know, it was connected to this like Papa Macho energy that's just like a bull in a china shop. Left a lot of destruction, okay? Caused a lot of issues, but something's turning around here. That energy is coming to an end. So let's check it out. We'll just cap this off with a little tarot for you. Look at that. Bottom of the deck. And I even cut it again. See, there's that waterway I'm talking about. Notice how there's the two like entry points and then they both come together as one. So this is the energy coming in. You know, it's sort of like you've been reflecting on something. Maybe it's something that felt like it was lost or it was disappointing. But look at what a little piddly waterway that is. That's not going to take you anywhere. You know, it's just going to dry up in time. This is the true way that's opening up. This is the true way through, right? So be prepared for this. Oh, look, it's not the card that was on the bottom of the deck. I picked it up and one got left behind. What's this? Ooh, you see? Look at that. The moon. There's that initiatory gateway. It's an initiatory gateway for two. And look, you're no longer tethered to the fates of three. Three are being left behind here. Okay. There's a lot of Pisces reference here. So 12th house matters. We know that your ruling planet Venus, currently at the time that I'm filming this, is retrograde Aries and Pisces. Okay. And I feel this is really speaking of the correlation point, right? We had that new moon that came in Pisces, and then there's going to be the new moon that also comes in at 9 degrees in Aries on the 29th. They are mirrored moons here, but do you see? That's going to be not, it's a new moon, but it's going to be a solar eclipse that comes in Aries there. So there's some happiness that was eclipsed that is going to come into view for you. Comes into view for 2 who are now untethered from 3. That's what I got. It's very interesting energy. See, it's really mirrored there. Okay. All right, let's check this out. Just one round of these and then a cut of the deck. What's coming in for Libra? What does Libra need to know about this portal that's opening up for them that brings in this waterway and emerging of the timelines? Okay, looks like we just have to do one cut here and call it good. Libra, you're the only sign that I've used this deck with so far that the cards weren't splaying all over the place. So I feel like it's a slippery deck. It's gorgeous, but it's very slippery. So I feel like you've effectively navigated some really slippery territory. You found a way to make it through. And with that, we got a King of Wands energy, okay? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And let's see, I wanted to pull the top card off here. Let me look at the bottom one here. Ooh, Judgment. Sagittarius energy. Okay, so see, it's like judgment's being called on those 3. They're like, no, wait, let us come along. Let us go where you're going. No. You know, it's time for you to kind of like hang out here for a while and sort of like integrate this cycle here. Big Sagittarian energy coming in here. Okay, so there is something you're moving into expansion with here. There is something coming in that's going to bring you some kind of optimism as well. There's also something here that you're grokking from dream time as well with that lizard there. Dream becomes reality. Interesting. Fire sign energy too, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and there you are on the other side with the Empress. Wow. Really cool energy. This is definitely you maintaining your position here. So we do have Empress to Emperor energy here. They may seem like a very like odd pairing, and yet it works. It works. You might be very different from each other in some way, whoever you're collaborating with here. Please know that when we're looking at these energies and we're looking at soulmate energies, there's a lot of different reasons why you could be connecting with someone. It's not always romantic. So really be open to this so you don't limit the experience. But this is so beautiful. Look at that. Doesn't it look like a crown of fire on her head? That's wild. I love it. Okay. You might have a lot of fire in your chart. If you do, I feel like your fire energy is really coming forward here. It's like your fire is waking up again, and you're going to use it to blaze a trail. I want to look at this top card because it's really drawn to you. Thank you. Let's enjoy the world of tarot. Yes, let's. Yes, let's. Let's enjoy this judgment, you know, judgment in our favor there, Libra. Okay. Let's celebrate having that fire back in our hands, this transformation point, the new chapter that opens. And yeah, you know, it's like something's really being sorted out here. Something's really being sorted out here. It's like a cheap stories come to an end, so the true story can begin. That's what I got.